Gotta have a lot of confidence to run that thing this close. Yeah, so it's like the outside corner of the stem wall and stem wall, and then we'll offset. We'll have to figure out, because this will be 24. We got 16-inch clips. So 16 minus 6 is 10, so it'll be 5 inches concrete to the wall, 6 inches wall, 5 inches concrete. Wrong way. I always do that. All right, so here is what we are doing. We've got the laser dot just on the tripod a little bit, but we're aiming for this guy. This is all very rough at this point. Kyle is dead square. Let me zoom way in. So that stake now is our reference point across the back. Now, can you take and let's go ahead and mark at every step. So these just are rough, Kyle, because we're gonna drag it. So if it's within an inch, yeah. And then we'll get one up on the far bank, and that's what we'll kind of string through. Okay, so what we're looking at now is, now that this is shot square across the back, the whole hole, then we just drop stakes at each of the step downs, and then all the way, I don't know if you can see it, it's like way over there. Hey, don't break my controller, everybody. I know a guy. Well, top of the afternoon to you. As Chuck Dickens once said, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This guy, because I want to hang it long, this guy, if you want to cut 2 at 15 foot and then probably just lay 2 20-footers here. So if you take one tape and just hook, so we can get rid of this guy, right?
Yeah, I think that was just our second attempt at trying to pull it
okay.
Further.
Guys, we're doing footings. Okay, let's talk form fastening. So typically when we're doing concrete work, all of our forming has to be disassembled when we're done placing concrete. So you're always forming with the idea that I'm gonna take this thing apart. To that end, we use duplex nails. This is a 6-penny duplex nail. We're gonna attach this, the stakes to all of our forms with the duplex nail, 6-penny. And then all of our 2x, we would normally use a 16 duplex nail. That's a 16-penny common nail. So it's a big nail. It takes a lot of force to drive, and it takes a lot of yanking force to remove. Duplex nails are designed that the head sticks out, you drive them flush with this little portion, and then we can remove it. Now, that is hard on the body, those 16-penny duplex nails. Yeah, these little headed nails. Instead, we are using these tubs of 1,000, the SDWS framing screw from Simpson Strong-Tie. Now there's a few reasons why we like these. One, these are code listed as a substitute for common nails. So if your engineer specs a common nail, you can ask him or her and you can replace it with these. What is the advantage of this? Well, it isn't brittle and it's not going to break. It drives fast because it self-pilots. With the T25 bit, we don't strip bits. And with this head, it pulls things nice and tight. So anything that is removable or we are going to disassemble, we want to make that disassembly as easy as possible. That's why we use screws. We first started using this for any guardrails or any scaffold or tent bracing because yes, they drive a little slower than a nail gun, but they remove quicker. As we remove them, they go right back in this tub. We reuse the majority of these because what we're gonna do at all the inside corners, we're gonna put a little bit of blue tape on them before we place concrete. Run. Okay, so we just blue tape the screws and that'll make it easier to strip. Now, of course, to drive those, you need an impact driver. So we just like to use, so we're all XGT on the Makita platform. So these guys are super lightweight. They weigh almost nothing. You don't even feel it when it's clipped to your back. I recommend clipping it. I'm right-handed, correct-handed. So I keep it there so that my bags are, you know, I'm balanced. If you hang it from the side, it's more likely to fall. It rattles against your leg. So just wear it right back here. We don't use any little batteries, so the same batteries that we use in our saws, this is a 4 amp hour, meaning we're never gonna run out of juice on these. I like the Diablo bits because they're a little bit longer. And again, like I mentioned, the T25, let's see, that is a duplex nail. The T25, these things like never strip. So the bits last quite a while. Oh, one last thing I almost forgot. Each tub comes with a bit. So worst case, you have one there. I like the Diablo bits. Dancing in the moonlight. Okay, hey, okay, that just kind of helps us. Yeah, if you pop that guy up, I shouldn't have had him cut these exactly the same. And then, yeah, get in the habit of putting the tape over the, yeah. If we just measure this about 5, you know, assuming that the tape is staying straight, that'll keep us without having to move stuff too much.
This guy?
Yeah, in round numbers for now. Okay, so let's take a look at the footing plan. I think that will help kind of make heads or tails of what we are attempting to do. So the footing is, of course, going to be mostly the outside perimeter. That's what we're going to focus on. Square, straight, parallel, staked into place. Then we focus on the strip footings. And that's right here where I'm circling the cursor. We have strip footings that are going to support pony walls. Think of pony walls as just short walls. That's exactly what they are. I don't actually know why they're called pony walls. A couple things here. Let me zoom in. So in the back of the garage, you notice that our structural engineer, I asked him like a couple plans ago, hey, if we wanted to get rid of that column in the garage, what would it take? And he's like, expand this footing. Here's the size. We incorporated it into the plan. There'll be a stem wall. Basically what the point here is to shorten the length of that beam and therefore the load. So by just making it, I think it's a 24-inch stem wall. And then notice the expanded footing here. That's going to help carry all of those gravity loads down to the ground. There's a number of expanded point loads, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Now let me zoom out and we'll just kind of fast forward to what the floor plan looks like. And then this gives you just a basic idea for what the main floor living will look like. Again, 3-car garage. So you notice this beam that runs front to back, side to side. You could drive through this garage. If you have a small enough car, you could come in the one door and come right out the other. No column is a luxury. Powder room and utility room in the back as we enter from the garage. We have the nook and then an open concept kitchen and great room. Of course, stairway upstairs, the dining room, kind of a butler's pantry here to the left of the stairs, our entry, and then main floor living for the primary bedroom. So this is a great way to age in place. Primary bedroom, bathroom, full shower, and then nice big walk-in closet. And then upstairs, go one too many. Upstairs, we got 3 bedrooms, a full bath, nice walk-in closet over here. We are not going to do the sleeping alcove. We've all decided that was a nice thing to put there, but it's just not worth the extra framing. We like the look of the full vaulted ceiling, and you'll see that as this progresses right through. Now, one thing I did want to draw attention to is this video's sponsor, Squarespace. So I've been using Squarespace since, what is that, like January, February 2020. And I picked Squarespace because I don't have a whole lot of time. At the time I was starting YouTube, and I'm telling you, the learning curve to this was just unreal. Didn't like it at all. Essentially, this was just a landing page for me to be able to write blog posts. Haven't done that for a while. A few of my favorites, this was a way really to link to my social channels, show some other channels I really like. But now Squarespace makes it really easy. If you look on the left here, we can set up invoicing. We can set up all kinds of things, products and services. Now, if you were to just create a website today, there's a number of AI tools. So you'll notice here that you can essentially pick some templates based on what's closest to your genre. I would say construction and maintenance for me, and then I can just click on right on these things. I want to publish a blog. I'm not personally going to sell something, but let's just say I needed to send invoices, showcase work and expertise. Now I can choose a template. I can build a template. Let's just choose one. And look at this. How cool is that? Built with Blueprint AI. So it doesn't really get any simpler than that. I highly recommend Squarespace. It's what's been working well for me. Not only have I had no problems with it, but it was so easy to set up that even awesome framers could do it. So head over to squarespace.com/awesomeframers to save 10% off your first domain or website using the code, you guessed it, Awesome Framers. What you are looking at here is the footings. On top of this, we're gonna build stem walls. I like to use 2x6 footing boards because they're stiffer. I don't have to install stakes quite as often as the old 1x that we used to use. I ordered this for this job. Once we strip and scrape them, I'm gonna use all of this up throughout the framing. It's gonna be drywall backing, it's gonna be triple studs under windowsills. I'm even gonna use up all of these because they've only been used once. I'm gonna use them up for all the pony walls in the crawl space, double top plate studs, etc. The advantage to us is that we don't pack these out of here. As we strip them, we're probably gonna place them right back over here, and then we're gonna use them up during the framing. So there is no footing boards that we have to maintain, haul back to the yard, etc. I like to order 20 footers to minimize the number of splits. Like I have originally a split there before we connected the strip footing. So these are called spreader cleats, and I have 3 different sizes here because we have 3 different size footings in this particular foundation. So right here, our plans called for 15-inch wide by 7-inch deep. You can actually find that in the IRC. Our engineer went ahead and just specified that. So that is this spreader cleat. So when I order them, this tab to this tab just represents the footing width, and then these two tabs represent the footing materials. So I order 1.5 inches or 1 5/8 by 16. Then engineer called out for the strip footings inside to be 18 inches wide, and so this is 18 inches between the tabs there. Then across the front of the garage we have 24-inch wide, and they're 12 inches deep, and the reason for that is to anchor the shear walls. So in that case we went ahead and just dug those footings down. Incidentally, these are all reusable. These have been through quite a few pours, so they have some old concrete. I'll show you when we strip them. Something like that, a lot of it will come right off. And then these are newer. I think, what was this, the 16-inch? So it just fits on there just like that. Okay, the other thing that we switched to a few years back are square stakes. Buy once, cry once. We like square. You can just hold it flat, drive them in, and then tack a nail through them. These are all reusable, and we keep hitting hard pan, and so when we used to use the old wood stakes, they just break. So we have a couple different sizes of those as well. All right, so that is our foundation wall. Did you see that? So these guys, I don't want them to move. So I want 5 inches of concrete, and again, this is pretty rough. That's pretty good. Make sure the holes, that'll catch. So this is our anchor point. That's why we're staking all 4 sides. Or I should say inside and outside. Boom.
It's definitely hard over here.
That thing is awesome. Look at that.
Look good? That'd knock yourself out.
That was awesome. We look so cool. Okay, so we have the laser set up. I'll show you this. Can you see that? There's the dot just right on the edge. So we went ahead and we set it to that far point, and now that is staked in. Just, you can see the 2 stakes. We can still slide it across, and then they're gonna just mark the batter board. And we're gonna end up tying a nail off to that. We'll brace it a little bit better, but that is going to be our reference point for this. So this is our 67 feet roughly by, like, I don't know, 50 feet by the time we get all the way out there. So I'm gonna check if you pull the tape tight, whenever you're done making love to that string line.
No, man, keep on sitting on this thing.
If you go a couple, you can go tight, and then with this hand, you go right over the top.
I did.
Okay, simple way to keep your string tight with no knots. So left hand, right hand. From my perspective, what I wanna do is wrap twice clockwise, pull it, keep tension there, and now with this hand, I go opposite or counterclockwise, and that's all there is to it. To undo it, I'm gonna do this, and that's it. So now with no talking. There you go. Can you pull back and make sure you're at 67.1? I'm gonna make sure that this other corner. Okay. Then this guy should be 46, 47 foot 1, right? Giddy up. It's dead on the money. It's as dead as money. It looks like I'm gonna go right here.
To the inside. Though.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay.
Hey, got it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna put this guy here. Gosh,
Hard, huh?
it's been in the steak. That Milli Vanilli was in fact not singing. Jordan, geometry. If I go there, that's concrete and concrete, so I have 6 foot. If we go 6 foot over, then we just calculate the diagonal. Here, I got it. I can do it. Help!
Oh, no.
I had it. I like to stake at the cleats because it gives us a little bit of resistance. So like where Kyle's foot is at, that's where we're going to stake next. And it's nice. This is footings. Here, we got one more cleat. I try to put the bare minimum of cleats because we're going to have to drop rebar down later.
Come on, Maul. I'm down and left to sit there.
Ah, what is on these? Sick. Concrete slurry. Gross. Now I have to wash my clothes today. F-I-N-E fine. Look at that guy. So 6 foot run, 6 foot rise. The diagonal is 8 foot 5 and 13/16. So if you hold my tape right there, 8 foot 5 and 13. So I just need to put some pressure. I mean, good Lord, that is like, there we go. 8 foot 5 and 13, concrete to concrete. Can I borrow that Maul while I got my foot pressure?
No mind. You gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah. You gotta be quicker than that. I love that I'm smashing it and it's not going down.
And it's still, you can move it in your hand.
Okay. So let's do both sides of this corner and then...
Gotta do here too then, huh?
Yes. So both sides of inside corners, both sides of outside corners on all of these. And then we'll just probably chalk line the back. There's your stinky Maul back. 3 hours in, man.
Pretty good gym.
Okay, so that side. Not bad. Along the lines of driving stakes, let me just show you our favorite Maul. This is a 3-pound Fiskars Maul. I got one back in like 2016 because we were driving a bunch of metal stakes and our lightweight framing hammers just weren't doing the trick. This is like the best. They're cheap, buy local, I buy them on Amazon. They're just like the right length. And so when you're really driving stakes, you can be accurate, especially with that giant face. It does the job without wearing out your arm. Okay, this is the M79 from Martinez Tools. I have it mounted to my very first Martinez titanium handle. This guy's great. I forget the weight. I think it might be 3 or 4 pounds. It's a little bit smaller face, but the advantage to this guy is I have a side nail puller and I can pull duplex nails here. And then of course I can dig things out. I can scrape panels and forms with this guy. The downside, of course, pretty spendy. This is brand new. This came like the week before we started this foundation. I cannot remember the weight, but this is from Essential Craftsman. This is the form setter. And teaser, I got to go and shoot a video with him down in Roseburg, Oregon just last week. When they reached out about this, I said, hey, I'm happy to drive down. I'd like to meet Scott. So we did. Anyway, this is awesome. I find that often I choke like this, but when you need 2 hands, then you have the extra distance. So I could see where somebody maybe cuts off the handle, makes it a little shorter, because that is a lot of weight, and it's like, you're gonna be sore here. But it's versatile. It's the form setter. All right, and this is like our favorite rotary laser. This is the Stabila LAR350. Let's set it up like this. And the tripod, let me just show you. A lot of times what I'll do is set it down. If you loosen all 3, you can just kind of eyeball it. Click all those. Turn it on, it self-levels within just a few seconds. If you're plus or minus, I forget how many degrees, 8 degrees or something. It shoots the rotary beam that we can use the detector on. It's ruggedized, so if you have that one person on the job site who's always doing one of those, obviously, try not to hit the thing, but it's ruggedized, so you're not gonna kill it. Just, you know, treat it like you would treat me if you ever met me. Jordan, here's how you take your $300 hammer. And always at the end. Okay, so here's also a trick. Walls are 44 feet, plus 5 for footing on each side, so 44 foot 10, plus 3 inches, 45 foot 1. This is a scientific way to do this, as long as the earth is round. I hit the one rock. Okay. Boom. That is the end of our house. So that means the number I gave you is bad. We tried to make the house bigger. Can you cut it, Jordan? Let's go 41.
That's the game.
Oh man, where's your moves? Yeah.
That's for my mom.
Not too bad, not too bad. Let's see where we're at. So, double car garage, single car garage out there. This is like the powder room, utility room, nook, where we're at here. That is great room. This will be roughly kitchen. We have our 16-foot wall that's full height that's here. That will go all the way up. Where Kyle's at, we're heading through kind of by the stairs and then the dining room. And you can see the step downs. We'll raise it all to grade tomorrow. Not too bad for one guy who's never worked on a foundation, for one guy who's only done it one time, and then for one guy that's just said he would never do footings again. When we did this house a couple years back, 3 years ago, well, 3.5, what was that, fall of 22? I was wrecked. I don't mind saying, I think this is my last footing. Like the previous 10 footings, this is my last footing. Get it? It's never gonna be. Just when I think I'm getting out, they come pulling me back in. By the end of it, it took me months to heal. I started physical therapy and I was like, I'm done. And then 6 months later, we did the 2 biggest foundations we've ever done. And I had to finish those with also people that didn't know really what they were doing. That was quite stressful, but it all worked out. You can go watch those on the, the Olympic playlist. Those were big. 66 feet, 10-foot walls. Yikes. This is pretty straightforward. So, and somehow we have dodged all of the bad weather. Missed it on us just a little bit. Let me show you this real quick. I think I already did. So we've just got some string lines tied. This is why I like to leave all of my tape measures out and just use like half a dozen of them if we have them, because then I don't have to walk back and forth and hook things. But here's essentially the batter board. This is how we plumb down. We run our string all the way out to that guy, and then we can just plumb her down. So the steps do add time, obviously, but it's not that bad, especially when they're just 2-foot steps. Jordan's very first foundation, and look, he's already got this mastered. He can pick his nose and dry sticks at the same time.
I need to make your own, just throw it.
Hey Jordan, are you good? Oh yeah, there's a drone over there. Are you good with the reciprocating saw?
I'm only good enough to get the job done, not to record it.
Okay. Are you good with the reciprocating saw because of your mom's meatloaf?
Yeah.
Me too.
Stopped making it about 10 years.
Yeah, and there's only certain blades you can use on your mom's meatloaf. We recommend the Diablo, nail embedded. Boom. And you can cut into the dirt. This is gonna be so cool. I like the sawing action with the saw.
Straight as can be.
Yeah. Boom. That was amazing.
Morning.
I know we used to load when...
Yeah, it just depends on your size. Guys that are, they're saying 5 grams for the muscle gains, 10 grams for cognitive.
Did I ever tell you my plan to eliminate drugs? My plan to eliminate drugs. You know how drugs are always measured in grams, which is metric. So if we made the whole world switch to imperial, the drug dealers wouldn't be able to measure their product. It would just naturally dry up. Yeah, go ahead and nail it, and then I'll just set to that.
Oh, I see you got a good one now, huh? How long ago was that?
Oh yeah.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it's been moving slowly.
Yeah, take.
Should have got that pickaxe. All right, then we'll do these because they're the pivot stake. So that's why we just put 1 screw per cleat. Come on, Timmy. Fast means we're too high, 7/8. Yeah, I should have got the pickaxe. Go right there. Giddy up. Oh, I did it left-handed. That's also a giant hole. Okay. 5/16. 16. Yeah, as soon as any of us trip on it. Okay, so this stick will extend. We're gonna use this plastic piece as the reference. So our step is 2 foot plus 1/4 for the snap tie. I'm gonna measure from this point to this point. 24 and 1/4. So 24 and 1/4. Lock this off. And now we'll just be able to raise our grade. And this is gonna be a lot closer. Knocking me out with those American Hey, top of the morning to everybody. So we are just about raised to grade. Let me show you our approach. So that's the Stabila LAR350 rotary laser. The LA180 is great, but this we want 360 degrees. It's also rugged. We can knock it over. I know some people. So the goal was to get this upper level all at the same height or level, right? And our high point was there. I guessed here, Kyle guessed over there, and it was pretty close. So excavator did a great job. Then this step is 2 foot 1/4. Our panels are 2 foot, and we have a 1/4 inch snap tie. So just so that the step can shoot past and stack on the lower panel, then we go 2 foot 1/4. This, however, these are all just strip footings for pony walls, so this doesn't matter. The front of the house is actually where the guys are doing the last step. So same thing, we set the reference point here, 2 foot 1/4, and then all of that gets raised, and then we just level across and raise it up.